Start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance
To the flag, to the republic, which stands one nation, under God, indivisible, with and justice for all.
Dear Lord Jesus, we thank you for allowing us to gather here on this beautiful night. Your word, it says, to trust in you with all your heart, or with all our hearts, and not to lean on our own understandings, to submit to you. And we praise you and thank you for gathering us here tonight. Pray for Evan Marlowe as he's courageously fighting for his health. We pray also for the new fire, Will Davidson. We pray for protection for him as he protects our city. In your name, Jesus.
Okay, Ms. Muscatello, call the roll, please.
Mr. Smolik.
Here.
Ms. Simons. Here. Mr. Ziegler.
Here.
Mr. Fenstermaker.
Here.
Mr. Hamer. Mr. Scholes. Ms. Grazia. Here.
A motion to suspend the rules of council.
Council Vice President, filibuster here for a minute.
Okay.
By request.
Want to do, well,
Do we have a
I'll
second?
give you a second. We're going to do the Eagle Scout first if you guys are ready by chance. Is that okay with you guys?
That's absolutely fine.
Hey,
Okay.
Mayor, real quick, did somebody second my motion?
I was going to say we have to suspend
Yeah.
this for a second.
Second, okay.
Yeah, no, sir.
Julie, your second.
Yeah.
Julie, second.
Begrudgingly.
All in favor?
All in favor, say aye.
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 Would you like
Thank
to
you, Janelle.
podium? You can swing it over.
So, I've got a couple slideshows to hand out. I don't have quite enough for everyone, so
Hand them to a couple of council folks. And I'll look over your shoulder.
We'll share. Give us one.
Yeah, it's a girl boy thing.
I would love one.
Oh, no, Chuck E. Cheese.
hello. My name is Adam Domes, and I would like to propose my Eagle Scout project. My idea is behind the Kirtland Community Center, I would place a Gaga ball pit. You can turn the page. So, first I have an overview of Gaga ball. It's, if you'd like to see specifically, there's a nice little Wikipedia quote there. But it's like dodgeball, but you know, you hit it with your hands. Your goal is to get the other players out and be the last man standing. You can turn the page. So, my project's trying to benefit, encouraging people to be more physically and socially active. Our community across the street, as you can tell, our community loves Gaga ball. The Kirtland Elementary School has a Gaga ball pit that is played with every day by Kirtland students. I was wondering if I would be able to make another one behind the Kirtland Community Center to allow people to play with it outside of school or around the year. I went to the site and scouted out where I may be able to place it, and I worked. I figured that the best spot would be besides the playground. The pit would be around 20 feet in diameter, and about 3 feet away from the sidewalk and playground to allow kids to stand around the rim of it and to also not get in the way of any of the sports that go on back there. the pit would also require to be like on flat ground. Next, the estimated cost, it would be roughly $1,325 for all the materials, including the metal brackets, the actual lumber, and plastic edge covers on the tops, and supplies such as like garbage bags or, you know, food for the volunteers would be roughly $70 for a total of around $1,395. Finally, my proposed next steps, I would hopefully be able to gain your support for the project, then have the rest of my project be signed off by my troop leadership, which is only going to be possible after this. I would then commence fundraising, get the materials, and then schedule and install the goggle ball pit.
All right, gentlemen, you're going to want to speak with Mr. Bernaro over there, the service director. Have you talked already? Okay.
You good with the location? Okay.
You need any sort of pit, obviously a ball, is that bring it on?
Yeah, I think because I don't know how we would be able to store the ball outside. We could probably people who play with it would find.
Adam, the only thing I'll give you a little warning about, you probably get some negative feedback from the community because that's where we were going to put the community pool. So, just kidding. Thank you for your efforts, and we'll do whatever we can to help.
Thank you.
Champ.
Adam, you have council approval. And you have the mayor's approval and the city's approval. So thank you for doing this project, a great addition to the community, and we really appreciate the efforts. When you get around to fundraising, I would like to stop back and see council.
All right. Thank you.
Hey, Joe Smollett first. We start with Joe, and then you work your way around the.
You'll need 11
Okay.
bucks.
No. There you
I'm
go.
very happy
But
third graders come
specific.
too, because they love the Gaga Ball pit at school, so they'll be excited about this for sure.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Appreciate it.
Oh, one question, can adults play golf? Sure. Like pickleball?
They will.
I need additional insurance.
Pull that up. I haven't seen that game.
For the actual proposal, I want to
I think he's got in there, Mr. Ferraro, that he gets full use of the excavator and all city equipment also, so. He's shrewd.
All right. Thanks again. Appreciate it. Good luck with your project. Okay. Mr. Hutton, Chief Hutton.
Oh, gotta lower it. Well, we're going to do a couple things tonight. I talked to Ms. Simons before the meeting. A few meetings ago, we talked about our group of people that were on the call last March with the student at Kirtland High School that collapsed and went into cardiac arrest. And it was great teamwork by all involved, from the police department, the school staff, to the firefighters, paramedics on the rescue squad. And Julie had asked me about bringing some of them to a council meeting. Well, I let her know tonight that that crew is sitting here tonight, the majority of the crew that was on, and the lead medic. So if Jack can, Dan Sanf and Matt Colleen would just come up real quick. So these firefighters are, Jack is one of our younger firefighters. He was hired with the grant that we had a couple years ago. He's been on for about 2 years, pushing 2 years right now, but at that time it was probably a year. So he was a young medic. He was the first firefighter to arrive on scene and took charge. Even though he's a younger guy, he's got skills. He's an excellent paramedic, and then to be surrounded by these guys, Captain Matt Colleen, who's our EMS coordinator for the entire fire department, and then Dan Samph, Lieutenant Samph is one of our ACLS instructors, BLS instructors, and then the others that were on that call were, at that time, firefighter Brian Horvath, part-time firefighter Eric Rosenberger, and Captain Frank Ponzani came from home. He actually heard the call and responded from home. But this crew, they're going to be going down to Columbus on May 21st, and they're going to be honored with the Star of Life Award, which is the highest award that you can receive in the state of Ohio. So we're very proud of it. Well, great job, guys. All right, next, we're going to do a swearing in of one of our newer firefighters. And I remember standing right here, I think the last time when we swore in Brad Blankenship, another Kirtland person. Will had just become a dependable. I remember explaining to Julie what a dependable was.
I have so many questions.
Yeah, she has a lot of questions. But, you know, Will came on the department. You know, he worked as a part-time firefighter. He went through medic school, and I'm pretty sure you passed on the first try, which is pretty tough nowadays. That's an accomplishment to do that. The test is pretty tough, and it's a testament of your knowledge to be able to pass on the first try. So once Will finished paramedic school, we had an opening as a part-time dependable, so we wanted to get him in that role so we could start to work with him. And he's been working with the shift with Captain Colleen, Lieutenant Samph, Firefighter Hahn, all on the same shift together. So these guys have been working and training together, and Will's come a long way, and he's doing a great job, and we look forward to having him on the department for a long, long time. Will is a Kirtland graduate, grew up in Kirtland, family. Kirtlanders, you probably know a lot of them. And he was a wrestler in high school. He's pretty fit, so which is what we like. He's pretty strong, and a great kid, and we're looking forward to having him. His interests are technical rescue, rope rescue, and we'll find whatever else we can send him to. But Will, why don't you come on up and bring up whoever you would like to bring up with you. And
Dan Samph in a wrestling match?
maybe arm wrestling. And we're going to have Mayor Potter come up. And Mayor Potter's got the honors. Thank you.
And we were hoping you could moonlight as one of our police officers as well. Who's going to hold the Bible for you, Will? That was a dirty trick. Okay. Thank you, Chief Hutton, for the great introduction. Will has certainly been somebody that this community has been proud of for a really long time, comes from a great family. So really excited to have you come aboard here, City of Kirtland Fire Department. So actually, I'm going to hold the mic.
Okay.
And this is the oath of office for the Kirtland Fire Department. You have to and raise your right hand, left hand above. Repeat after me. I, William P. Davidson,
I, William P. Davidson,
small, do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
the Charter,
the Charter,
the ordinances and resolutions
the ordinance, and the resolutions
of the City of Kirtland,
of the City of Kirtland,
and that I will faithfully,
and that I will faithfully,
honestly,
honestly,
and impartially my duties
and impartially discharge my duties
full-time firefighter
as full-time firefighter paramedic
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my abilities.
Board.
We'll take some pictures. Do you want to do any pictures here with the family? All right.
Do it.
We want to move the flag.
Well,
Wanna move the flag?
congratulations. She gets cake. You're gonna get a big piece of cake. Yeah, you could bring me one too.
Nope, you good?
Challenge.
It's a challenge. Okay, as we mentioned, you're more welcome to stay, or you can go out and start celebrating and have your pictures, but we'll go on to the normal regular council meeting.
How's Jim doing? Jim discussed it. Yeah, I do too. That's right.
Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started. The reading and approval, the minutes of the April 21st, 2025 Finance Committee meeting.
We have to have the door open.
No, we do. You're right. We have to have one door open. Thank you.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve by Mr. Smolik, second by Ms. Grazia. Ms. Muscatello, please call the roll.
Mr. Smolik.
Yes.
Ms. Simons.
Yes.
Mr. Ziegler.
Yes.
Mr. Fenstermaker.
Yes.
Ms. Grazia. Yes.
Moving on to the minutes of the April 21st, 2025 council meeting.
Second.
Motion to approve by Mr. Smolik, second by Ms. Simons. Ms. Muscatello, call the roll.
Mr. Smolik. Ms. Simons.
Yes.
Mr. Ziegler.
Yes.
Mr. Fenstermaker.
Yes.
Ms. Grazia. Yes.
Okay, moving on to the minutes of the emergency meeting held on April 26, 2025. Looking for a motion to adopt or approve?
So moved.
Ms. Simons with the motion, Ms. Grazia with the second. It was close. Ms. Muscatello, please call the roll.
Mr. Smolik.
Yes.
Ms. Simons.
Yes.
Mr. Ziegler.
Yes.
Mr. Fenstermaker.
Yes.
Ms. Grazia.
Yes.
Yeah, it was that. Okay, moving on to the department reports. We're going to go on to Chief McAllister.
Thank you, Council President Fenstermaker. Sent our reports out for April. I should have got those this evening. Just wanted to let you guys know we've continued to sit on Hobart. We're doing additional details there. We've had some more complaints coming in, so doing everything in our power. We're logging each of those details. That way we know when we're getting up there. What I would urge the community to do if they're seeing problems, just to reach out, let us know, give us some time frames, and potentially give us some driveways and additional areas to park in, because we're kind of limited. So that usually helps us if we can spread out a little bit and focus on different areas on the road. Third thing is Scott Dobbenmeyer, who we just brought on a little less than a month ago, is now in shadow mode. He will be released at the end of this week and be a full officer on the road. He's doing extremely well. And then had a few thank yous I wanted to send out. We completed our squad room. Everything is done in there. I'd invite council to come over and take a look after the meeting if they have some time. We did a lot with a little bit of money. I just wanted to thank Home Depot out in Mentor. They gave us some discounted items, and we're very thankful for that. Also want to thank Andy Longcar, Tom Longcar, Joe Tominick, Mike Russ, Tom Hill, I believe all Kirtland residents. They all donated their time and gave us a full day's of work installing our kitchen. And we had some private donors I want to thank. We're very crucial in completing that kitchen. It was very generous act of plumbing for the cabinetry and giving us a cheaper price on that. And then I want to thank our personnel that assisted with all the assembly and the installation and the additional work that it took to get the room together. But I wanted to end with that, and I'm open for any questions.
Any questions for Chief McAllister tonight?
Does that turn into policy?
Given laterals and the experience, generally it just requires 160 hours of training. So the last week is generally a shadow phase. Officer Dobbenmeyer, he's so well versed in Ohio law and everything. He's previously worked in Kirtland as a part-time officer, so he already has a good knowledge of the city. He's just been very easy to train. I think he's going to bring a wealth of knowledge, experience, and be a really good addition to the department.
And issues over on home, residents over other than too much traffic, anything bad over there?
It's the traffic, the speed. Some commercial trucks are going down the road because they get down there, they just don't know where to go. So we're trying to enforce all those things and just correct behavior, issue citations when necessary. But it's what you would expect, very similar to what we had last year when everybody was going down the other direction. So it's I think normal for what we're dealing with.
Thanks.
Okay, thank you, Chief McAllister. Chief Hutton, would you like to issue a report tonight?
The monthly report was sent out. You should all have that. Everything's moving along in the fire department. We're having some vehicle issues Mr. Fernaro is working on for us, really with a couple of our ambulances, some issues. Hopefully those will be repaired within a week or so. We've got junior and senior project coming up at the fire station. I'm sure the police department probably has that as well. It looks like we have 4 students. Not all are from Kirtland, but it's always a good thing to get students to come do some ride time with us and use that as a recruit tool, for part-time. It's a good thing. Other than that, I'm open for any questions.
With the vehicles that are that you're talking about, are they out of service right now, or how's that working?
Right now, we have extensive repair on. The other one is an air conditioning issue that should be repaired hopefully tomorrow. So we'll be down 1 squad maybe for a week, hopefully at the most.
Chief, which squad has the machine issues?
That will be 1922, which is the frontline unit at Station 2. That is a 2018 Freightliner medium duty. I've talked about, engines, ambulances. Purchasing new ambulances have become as difficult as a new fire engine. The time to get one, you're looking at 2 to 3 years now for an ambulance, if you can believe that.
News on the engine?
We have a build book. It has not been started yet, so they're still in process.
Thank you.
Any other questions for the chief tonight? Okay, moving on to Mr. Finaro.
Good evening, everybody. Just like to thank our entire team for doing a great job getting through spring. Some wet weather, no one has noticed. At least it's not snow, and that will complete my report.
Mr. Finaro, thanks for everything on Route 6, and thanks for making sure that gets done and taken care of.
Appreciate it. Thanks for coming in on a Saturday.
I had to stop at Maggie's anyways.
Bernardo, thank you. Contacting me about putting it there.
Have we sent roads out for bid yet, and do we have any estimates on when we'll be starting those projects?
Scheduled to go out to bid June 2nd.
Thank you. Is that process usually, sorry, one more question. Is that process usually like a month before we hear back, or how does that work?
I'm taking all of Mr. Courtney's report, but we'll advertise for 2 weeks, so yeah, it'll be a month. And Doug will have to review everything, so late summer, we're looking at.
He's a man of few words anyway, so he probably appreciates it.
All right, moving on to Mr. Courtney.
Thank you. Apparently I have no report tonight. Happy to take any questions.
I don't have any questions for Mr. Courtney tonight. Anybody else? Look at that. Free pass. Mr. Slapnicker.
Thank you, Council President Fenstermaker. The April 2025 end-of-month reports have been distributed and posted online. There are 3 items of legislation from the Finance Department on tonight's agenda. 25R21, which relates to the wastewater treatment plant rates. That can go 3 readings. I have no issues with that. I am looking for passage of 25025 and 25026 this evening. One is the amended appropriations, which I have provided council this evening with a detailed line item summary of those changes. That concludes my report, and I'm available for any questions.
Any questions for Mr. Slapnicker this evening?
Yes, just something that has probably wiped it out that fact. Right.
Yeah, well, it keeps that funding available that we can apply for if we so choose to. I believe that funding will open in possibly August, I believe. I'll double check on that.
That's more renewal out of it. More renewal since 1987, I believe.
I believe so.
Thanks.
Okay. Julia, would you like to give us an update on the community center, please?
Thank you. I just would like to thank Mr. Finaro and the service crew for finishing up the front of the building around the flagpole. It looks beautiful, all the flowers. Otherwise, I have no formal report, but I'm open for any questions.
The pickleball stuff up yet?
Yes, pickleball has been up and being utilized almost daily. And I was just informed the new outdoor bathrooms are also open.
All right, excellent. Any other further questions tonight? Thank you. Appreciate it. Mr. Lalo's out. Mayor.
Thank you, Council President. This time I'd like to bring up Lieutenant Fisher. He's got a couple words to say here for the evening. I think that would have been real news to the chief.
Right, exactly. So it's an interesting opportunity here that I'm taking that I didn't tell the chief about today, and that's because it's about you. So I'm just going to read this statement, and this is what I come up with. So thank you, Mayor Potter, for allowing me the opportunity to address City Council this evening. I would like to start off by reading the definition of a servant leader. A servant leader is a leader who prioritizes the needs and growth of the team members and organization over their own personal ambitions. They focus on fostering a positive and supportive environment where individuals can thrive and contribute their best work. This leadership style emphasizes empathy, empowerment, and commitment to serving others rather than seeking power and control. As Chief McAllister pointed out in his formal report, the officers' room is finished, and the officers and I could not be more pleased with the way it turned out. What Chief McAllister did not say, due to his humility, is he also designed it. He worked on his days off. He painted, he built cabinets and desks, and he even laid carpeting. Chief McAllister is clearly a man of many talents. Chief, your vision exceeded our expectations, and you truly are an example of a servant leader. In closing, as the executive officer of the Kirtland Police Department, it is my honor and privilege to extend to you a well-deserved thank you from myself and my fellow officers. Chief McAllister, job well done.
Whoa.
Yikes. Yikes.
There's a rough crowd tonight.
Lieutenant Fisher, I want to thank you for doing that. That takes a lot to go out there and recognize leadership and show that type of appreciation. So I want to thank you for doing that. Really cool. Nice job.
Thanks again, Chief, for met with the chief for about a half hour, month or two ago.
Seems like you guys have a good unit there.
Awesome. Okay, we're going to move on off of Mayor's report. What do you got?
Oh, I thought you said you were moving off of the report.
No, I said I was thinking about it.
So yeah, thanks to Lieutenant Fisher for coming out. He called me last week and asked if he could have a few minutes tonight, and obviously, you know, that was granted easily. I think what you just saw and heard here, and if you go back even to what Chief Hutton had mentioned earlier related to our fire department, and you've got guys coming in on their days off to help at an emergency in the school. You know, that's the kind of community we live in. That is the we see that a lot here in the small community, and the leadership role that we have in all of our department heads is staggering, really, when you look at what these guys and ladies do on their days off, not just their days here, and the respect that they command, but not command, that they get from whether it's police, fire, or service department workers. It really is a testament to kind of what we've seen happen here in the city of Kirtland. And it's nothing new, but Chief McAllister, you know, it was my pleasure, and obviously I was welcoming Lieutenant Fisher to come in tonight. What you've done with this department in just a few years is beyond commendable, and you know, my sincere gratitude and appreciation for what you do and what your fellow department heads do around here, and that includes Mr. Slapnicker and Julie DeWolf and Matt Lallo and Doug Courtney's and his company. I'm sure I'm forgetting somebody here, but anyhow, just a great appreciation. Janelle comes in here on Saturdays for special meetings because she wants to make sure that Mr. Smolitz doesn't take the notes for those meetings. So, but no, honestly, Janelle's new to the team, and she's stepping right in line with those other leadership positions, and I think, you know, we kind of breed that around here, so thanks to everybody. And so I'm not going to take any more time, but if you guys have questions.
Any further questions for the mayor this evening? Julie, do you have any questions for the mayor? All right, excellent. Okay, so we'll move on to standing committee reports. I don't believe there's any updates on any standing committee reports. Well, moving on to correspondence, just to mention, we did receive an email/letter correspondence from A+ Landscaping. So just acknowledgement of the correspondence received. Okay. Public comments on matters not on the agenda. Anybody in the public like to speak this evening? If you'd like to, please just come up, give your name and address, and your opportunity.
Moved to Kirtland in 19 and built a house.
I'm sorry, before you start, just name and address they need it for the record.
Okay. I live at 7360 Ledgewood Drive,
Ledgewood?
Ledgewood. We built it in 1972. Name?
Your name, sir?
John Florentine.
John, okay. Fine. Thank you.
Okay, on Rockwood Drive, there was a beginning turnaround, okay? And Mr. Maver on the corner of Rockwood and Ledgewood decided he wanted to move back because he had property behind my house. So what happened was, well, at first, when you had that first the cul-de-sac, there was 2 ditches on the drains would stuff up with leaves, and it actually had a pond there. You could put a floating boat in there if you wanted to. And we would come by with my sons would I'd drive along and they'd take the rake and rake it off, and then I'd drive a little bit further and then keep raking off because you couldn't walk in the water, you know. So anyway, when Mr. Maver built this house in the back, they made the cul-de-sac huge, okay? And the water at that time was just going down between my house and my neighbor's house. It would catch everything. It had a flat top, and they finally put a cone type thing in to stop the leaves. But then the other Courtney, not Mr. Courtney, but the other company, they decided they wanted to put what was Kirtland Chardon Road was being redone, and their trucks would bring all of the stuff down, and right on the side here they would just drive the trucks, dump it down, and there was a bulldozer that would push the stuff up. It was just sand. It wasn't rocks or anything. So this other company put this thing, they put a pipe all the way back. And at first, it worked out good. But unfortunately, for some reason, they're supposed to know something, but you would put a pipe was here, and then they didn't put another pipe down here. So my kids and all the other kids in the neighborhood would go back there. And I came back there one time, and my kids were playing in the sand there, and the pipe was this, but everything was eroding this way. And his father was cutting the grass, and it was cracking. So in other words, it was going to cave in. So they had to stop this, okay? And believe me, living on that street it was a beautiful thing because it just worked fine. But for some reason, they didn't put a pipe down to the bottom, and it just eroded itself. So right now, we'd have the same problem, and I was trying to think of some way that we could put it. I'm not sure, you say the pipe is gone now? Huh? I thought so. So, and somebody they put concrete in there, right? I don't know how much concrete they put in there, but I would. Do what?
By way of case, you're talking case for that, or how much bullets of the water?
Well, you wouldn't have to put too much concrete in there. You know,
The natural flow of that area.
they couldn't have put too much concrete in there because it'll stop the water right away.
Right.
You could probably take a circular drill and drill some of that stuff out of there. But if anybody wants to help out, they could certainly put a pipe at the end of that thing so it goes all the way down to the water. And believe me, Mr. Doublejack is there too, who would be here. We all thought that was the greatest thing that ever happened. That didn't help. No, this past winter, that just went by. That thing just came right over the whole thing. We had a bad time. Now, wait a minute. Next thing is
Yeah.
I believe the issue, with the retention pond, which we're disposal of, the issue I think we still have over is that beehive thing gets filled up, right, and that's what swamps that up. Two of those drains over there now. But to this point, Mr. Florentine, that issue that it brought there, that was looked at, I think. Rains over that, so that was, so there's very little chance there will be a new pipe.
You don't even have to put a metal pipe in. They have plastic tubes now. That just come right down. Plastic doesn't, it's
Probably,
light.
probably collapsed, and it's also buried for building that whole other property. Close that down. I actually did that. That's over there. I think. Like, suck it up, water flow.
See, everybody says you can't do it. I just, I'm just wanting the water all to go back that way because it wouldn't come down the drain that comes to my. Yeah. That's all. And when it first started, it was fantastic. But when your dad was cutting the grass, you could see it was cracking. And that would have just could, even if he could do, they would just walk down there and he might have fallen in. So you don't think you can do the pipe in the back? Oh, there you go.
Thanks, Mr. Florentine.
Thank you, Mr. Florentine. Appreciate the time tonight. Thank you. Okay, moving on to the old business. 25-R-21, second reading. Resolution approving the revised rates for sanitary sewer system charges for Hickory Hill, Rockwood Ledges, and Shenandoah subdivisions as determined by the Public Utilities Commission for the City of Kirtland and declaring an emergency. We're letting it go. Okay, 25-O-25, second reading, an ordinance authorizing an advance of funds from the General Fund number 100 to the Wastewater Treatment Rockwood Fund number 501 and declaring an emergency.
Probably need to abstain on it.
No.
Okay, I'm looking to waive the third reading.
Okay, Mr. Smolik with the motion to waive the third reading. Ms. Grazia with the second. Any discussion?
Unless you're not going to pay your bill.
All right. All right. Okay. Okay, Ms. Muscatella, call the roll?
Mr. Smolik.
Yes.
Ms. Simons.
Yes.
Mr. Ziegler.
Yes.
Mr. Fenstermaker.
Yes.
Ms. Grazia.
Motion to adopt. We need to, Declare an emergency and adopt, yeah, you waived it, right?
Yep. Okay,
Declare an
Mr.
emergency and adopt.
Second.
Mr. Ziegler with the motion to declare an emergency and adopt, and Ms. Grazia with the second. Any discussion? Ms. Muscatella, excuse me, please call the roll.
Mr. Smolik.
Yes.
Ms. Simons.
Yes.
Mr. Ziegler.
Yes.
Mr. Fenstermaker.
Yes.
Ms. Grazia.
Yes.
25-0-26, second reading. An ordinance amending ordinance number 25-0-12 relating to the appropriation for the year of 2025.
You need to make a motion to replace Exhibit A,
Need a motion to amend
amend
25-0-26.
Exhibit A, which would be 60,000. Around 6 culverts, so it goes from the 20,823,204.78 cents to 20,883,204.7 cents. For amending the pays that top of the 60,000.
Motion to move? To move then? Amend?
Second.
Okay, Mr. Ziegler with the motion to amend 25-026. Mr. Smolik with the second. Any discussion? Again, I just want to thank Mr. Finaro and the Service Department and team and council for getting together on an emergency on Saturday to cover that repair. So if there's no other discussions, Ms. Muscatella?
Mr. Smolik.
Yes.
Ms. Simons.
Yes.
Mr. Ziegler.
Yes.
Mr. Fenstermaker.
Yes.
Ms. Grazia.
Yes.
Looking for a motion, making motion to waive third reading.
Second.
Mr. Smolik with the motion to waive the 3 readings, Mrs. Simons with the second. Any discussion? Ms. Muscatella, call the roll.
Mr. Smolik.
Yes.
Ms. Simons.
Yes.
Mr. Ziegler.
Yes.
Mr. Fenstermaker.
Yes.
Ms. Grazia.
Yes.
Just adopt.
We're to do motion to adopt, correct? Motion to adopt.
Second.
Mr. Smolik with a motion to adopt, Mrs. Simons with the second. Any discussion? Ms. Muscatella?
Mr. Smolik.
Yes.
Ms. Simons.
Yes.
Mr. Ziegler.
Yes.
Mr. Fenstermaker.
Yes.
Ms. Grazia.
Yes.
Okay, moving on to new business. Public comments on agenda items of new business. Moving on. Okay. 25-0-28, an ordinance authorizing all actions necessary to accept Northeast Ohio Public Energy Council, NOPEC, 2025 Energized Community Grant and declaring an emergency.
Please, I have to have that in by the end of June.
Yes.
so.
Sounds like you made it, right? You making that motion?
Motion
Yep.
to waive the motion to waive the 3 readings.
Second.
Mr. Smolik with a motion to waive the 3 readings, Mr. Ziegler with the second. Any discussion? Ms. Muscatella, please call the roll.
Mr. Smolik. Ms. Simons.
Yes.
Mr. Ziegler.
Yes.
Mr. Fenstermaker.
Yes.
Ms. Grazia.
Motion to declare an emergency and adopt.
Mr. Ziegler with a motion to declare emergency and adopt. Mr. Smolik with the second. Any discussion? Ms. Muscatella, please call the roll.
Mr. Smolik. Ms. Simons.
Yes.
Mr. Ziegler.
Yes.
Mr. Fenstermaker.
Yes.
Ms. Grazia.
Yes.
Okay, moving on to 25-0-29. A resolution authorizing the mayor to purchase portable radios from Motorola Solutions Incorporated for the police department and declaring an emergency. Looking for a motion to waive the 3 readings.
So moved.
Ms. Simons with the motion to waive the 3 readings. Ms. Grassi with the second. Any discussion? Ms. Muscatella, please call the roll.
Mr. Smolik.
Yes.
Ms. Simons.
Yes.
Mr. Ziegler.
Yes.
Mr. Fenstermaker.
Yes.
Ms. Grazia.
Yes.
Need a motion now.
Motion to declare emergency and adopt. All right.
Okay.
Motion to declare an emergency and adopt.
Second.
Mr. Smolik with a motion to declare emergency and adopt. Mrs. Grazi with a second. Any discussion?
Just note on this, that the radios which we approved of in the budget, total of 77,356. What do you think you'll get those in, Steve?
I think most agencies have been getting them within a month, and then we'll have to get them programmed after that, so it should be relatively quick.
They send somebody out, I think they do, initial programming on it all. Thank you.
Okay. Ms. Muscatella, please call the roll.
Mr. Smolik.
Yes.
Ms. Simons.
Yes.
Mr. Ziegler.
Yes.
Mr. Fenstermaker.
Yes,
Ms. Grazia.
Yes.
that was the declared emergency, right? Okay, great. 25-R30-30, a resolution authorizing the city to enter into a memorandum of understanding with the Kirtland Police Department and the Ohio Patrolmen's Benevolent Association? Benevolent, okay.
Reading.
That sounds right, great.
Put the word.
My
letters
apologies.
together.
For the resolution of a dispute regarding prior full-time service for purposes of vacation time credit. We are looking for a motion to amend, to modify this resolution to incorporate the updated exhibit that Mr. Lattle supplied. Paragraph 6 was the change in the agreement.
So moved.
Okay, it's a motion to amend. Mr. Smolik, Mr. Ziegler with the second. Any discussion? Ms. Muscatella, please call the roll.
Mr. Smolik.
Yes.
Ms. Simons.
Yes.
Mr. Ziegler.
Yes.
Mr. Fenstermaker.
Yes.
Ms. Grazia.
Yes.
No, we're going to let that one go. Correct. Okay, moving on to council comments this evening.
Am I not benevolent?
That's not a okay. Any continuing concerns? Last opportunity for the public for any comments. Okay, looking for an adjournment.
Motion to adjourn.
Awesome.